As if AI wasn't taking over our world enough, I've got some more AI news for you. And this time it's working in conjunction with Facebook. As you may or may not have seen in the caption, Facebook is testing a new AI generated stories based on your previously shared images. And so, just like artificial intelligence is serving us in so many different capacities, making our lives easier, making it easier to do searches, making it easier to learn about things, making it easier to write scripts, to write captions, blog posts, maybe even pass a test in college. AI is now potentially going to make it easier for you to create content. And so I'm going to share with you this article here from Social Media Today, which is kind of highlighting this new test that Facebook is having. So again, remember, this is a test, so it may not be an option that's available to you currently, but I would keep an eye out for it, because I think for many of us, I think we lack in the creativity department. We lack with knowing what to post every day. We struggle in the department of, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to post every single day. And so this is going to give you now an option to take what you have posted in the past and now create additional content for you. And so I'm going to kind of go through this article with you. It says Facebook continues to explore ways to get more people posting to stories, this time via obviously a automated stories generation process that uses image recognition AI to create new stories from your shared content. And it shows an example here from a Jackie Pitcow, and it talks about how basically they're being prompted to use a new feature, which is called this advanced stories. Facebook describes it this way: allow Facebook to suggest high-quality, ready-made stories for you using advanced photo and video data, including image quality, location, the presence of people or animals. This process will generate stories based on images that you've uploaded to the app using a thematic matching to provide templated frames that you can share with your audience. So again, think of it as though it's going to be taking what it learns about you. This is artificial intelligence, and then it's going to be making suggestions or creating posts on your behalf. And it continues down here to say, well, maybe this feels a little inauthentic. But again, think about it as more of a consistency tool, because as we say all the time, done is better than perfect. And for many of you, you get completely handicapped by the thought, or paralyzed by the thought of, what do I post today? Should I say this? Is this interesting? And in the time that it takes you to overthink it and then ultimately not post it, what are you accomplishing? Absolutely nothing. And so although this is probably not a tool that I will find myself using, because I don't lack in the creativity department, I don't lack in the department of coming up with content on a daily basis. If it's something that is maybe going to add to what I'm already doing, I'll certainly test it. But for those of you that are struggling in the consistency department, I think this is something that you really want to check out. You want to keep an eye on, because I think it's going to only enhance what you're already doing. And you can see here, it says for regular users, you can imagine that if you show off baby photos, for example, or wedding pictures, or a story based around a beloved pet, there could be a lot of potential there. And based on the success of Facebook's memories element, there's clearly a level of add-on engagement to be gleaned from tools like this, even if they do feel somewhat artificial in nature. Both Facebook and Instagram have been looking to better align with behavioral shifts towards stories and private messaging. You hear what they're saying there? They want to shift more towards stories and private messaging. And with Meta's own data showing that users are now posting far less original content to the newsfeed that they have in times past. Again, pay attention to this. When you read things and hear things like this about Instagram and Facebook, it is telling you, it's smacking you in the face to use these tools more often, stories and private messaging, just like in notes on Instagram. And we have been preaching, use notes more often on Instagram. Why? Because it's the latest tool. And when you use the latest tools, the algorithm tends to reward you, just like remixing on Instagram, or duetting on TikTok, or using the green screen on Instagram and TikTok. Using those features are only going to enhance your reach, because you're using the tools that are created within the app apps that the app and the algorithm will ultimately favor and likely give you better reach, which is amazing. People are still consuming content in the main feed. It says, with Meta's advancing AI recommendations, helping to keep people scrolling for longer. This is a fact. We talk about this all the time, oftentimes, and there's a reason why the statistics say 90% of social media users are just lurkers, 9% are light engagers, and 1% are creators. And part of the reason for that, beyond just the fear factor, the intimidation factor, the uncomfortability of posting, is the fact that the algorithm, when you open up these apps, grab your attention. And I can speak from experience. Like sometimes when I open up Instagram with an intent to go post, and all of a sudden I see a Frenchie bulldog, and it just grabs my attention. Before you know it, I'm spending 30 minutes scrolling through the reels. Right? This happens to all of us. And so you have to be very intentional here, because you have to know that this is exactly what these platforms are designed to continue to improve upon. But it also says here, Meta needs to ensure that people continue to glean real value from their in-app experience. And so for Facebook, that comes from engaging with their friends and family via their established social graph, which is an element that other apps can replicate. Years of angst and division on social platforms have made people increasingly wary about sharing in public. It's definitely not true of us at Drunk on Social, which is part of why this activity is switching to DMs. Those stories also remain an engaging element, with the temporary nature of the format likely holding more appeal than posting to your profile and having it remain there forever. See, that is the appeal to stories, is that, it's gone after 24 hours. And so I think, again, leaning into that, the other element to stories is that when someone engages with your story, it is a private message. And so now it's not out to the world. And I think not even so much for us as creators, but even for the consumer, I think they feel more comfortable maybe commenting or sharing their thoughts or connecting with you on a private basis, which goes to your DM, than through a public post. And so keep all of this in mind as you are continuing to evolve your social strategy. Use these tools that the apps are basically pushing. Just continue to follow Tristan and I, Drunk on Social. We're going to be telling you what to be using based on what we're testing. And this is a great example. And it even goes on here to say, they're working to build more tools to align with this, while it's new DM tools like channels and notes on Instagram, which notes is something we've been pushing. They fit into this push. And I think the personal engagement is only going to continue to grow. I think it's just more reason why adopting and embracing these tools is going to become incredibly critical to your social media and brand strategy. But also keep an eye out for this. Keep an eye out for this AI generated stories that Facebook, that Meta might be rolling out, because if and when it does come out, the first time you see it, I want you to go test it. I want you to go play around with it and see what it can do for you. You never know what stuff's going to just completely flop on its face, but what might be an awesome new element within these apps that will increase your reach and increase your engagement. So keep an eye out for it. Thanks for listening.